Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into one of the Bible's most intense and thought-provoking chapters, Genesis chapter 34. Now this isn't your typical Sunday school story, but it's packed with lessons about family, honor, consequences, and how our choices can ripple through generations. It's a powerful narrative that truly makes you pause and reflect. So, let's set the scene. Jacob, his family, and all their possessions have just returned to Canaan. Things are looking up. They've just reconciled with Esau, and they're settling near the city of Shechem. Jacob even buys a plot of land and sets up an altar, showing his devotion. But then, things take a very dramatic turn. Jacob's daughter, Dinah, decides to go out and visit the local women. Now, we don't know much about Dinah beyond this chapter, but her decision to step out into this new culture is the catalyst for everything that follows. While she's out, Shechem, the son of Hamor, who is the Hivite ruler of the land, sees her. He's immediately captivated by her, and tragically he seizes her and violates her. This act, of course, is a horrific trauma, and it sets in motion a chain of events that will shake Jacob's entire household. Afterward, Shechem feels a strong attachment to Dinah. He genuinely falls in love with her and wants to make her his wife. He pleads with his father, Hamor, to arrange the marriage. This is where the tension really starts to build. Hamor, wanting to consolidate power and form an alliance with Jacob's prosperous family, approaches Jacob with Shechem's request. He proposes not just this marriage, but an intermarriage between their peoples, suggesting that Jacob's family settle among them, trade and intermarry freely. From Hamor's perspective, this looks like a win-win, a way to unite two influential families. Now, Jacob hears about what happened to Dinah, but he waits for his sons to return from the fields before responding. This delay is important, as it gives his sons time to hear the news and react. When they do hear, they are furious. Their sister has been dishonored, and in that culture, this was a profound insult to the entire family's honor. They're filled with rage and indignation, and they start plotting. When Hamor and Shechem present their proposal for marriage and alliance, Jacob's sons respond with cunning. They tell Hamor and Shechem that they cannot give their sister to an uncircumcised man, as it would be a disgrace to them. However, they say, if all the men of Shechem agree to be circumcised, then they will intermarry and live among them, becoming one people. On the surface, this seems like a reasonable, albeit demanding, condition for cultural assimilation. Hamor and Shechem are thrilled with this proposal. Shechem is deeply in love with Dinah and doesn't hesitate. Hamor sees the economic benefits of merging with Jacob's wealthy family. They go back to their city and convince all the men of Shechem to agree to the circumcision. They present it as a strategic move. Their livestock, their property, and all their animals will be ours. Let's just agree to their terms and they will settle among us. The men of Shechem agree, and every male in the city is circumcised. Here's where the story takes its darkest turn. On the third day, when the men of Shechem are most vulnerable and in pain from the circumcisions, two of Jacob's sons, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's full brothers, take matters into their own hands. They arm themselves with swords, sneak into the unsuspecting city, and brutally kill every single male, including Hamor and Shechem. They rescue Dinah from Shechem's house, and then the other sons of Jacob follow suit. They plunder the city, taking all their flocks, herds, donkeys, and whatever was in the city and in the fields. They even take their women and children captive. It's a devastating act of revenge and destruction. When Jacob hears what his sons have done, he is absolutely appalled. He confronts Simeon and Levi, saying, "You have brought trouble on me by making me odious to the inhabitants of the land, the Canaanites and the Perizzites. My numbers are few, and if they gather themselves against me and attack me, I shall be destroyed, I and my household." Jacob's concern isn't just moral outrage, it's also practical. He fears the retaliation of the surrounding tribes, realizing his family has put themselves in immense danger. Simeon and Levi, however, are unrepentant. Their response is chillingly direct. Should he treat our sister like a prostitute? In their eyes, their actions were justified, a matter of restoring honor, even if it meant extreme violence. So, what can we take away from this incredibly challenging chapter? It's a stark reminder of the destructive power of unchecked anger and revenge. While the initial act against Dinah was abhorrent, the son's retaliation went far beyond justice. It led to mass murder and put their entire family at risk. It teaches us about the critical importance of seeking peaceful resolutions and allowing justice to be administered properly, rather than resorting to personal vengeance. It also shows the complex interplay of cultural norms, family honor, and the tragic consequences when these collide violently. This story also highlights the pain and trauma suffered by Dinah, a young woman caught in a terrifying situation, whose voice we don't hear directly, but whose experience is central to the narrative. It reminds us of the importance of protecting the vulnerable and advocating for justice, without resorting to the same level of violence that caused the initial harm. And Jacob's reaction, his fear for his family's survival, and his condemnation of his son's actions, foreshadows future tension within his family. He never truly forgives Simeon and Levi for this deed, even addressing it on his deathbed much later in Genesis. This chapter might be difficult to read, but it offers profound insights into human nature, the dangers of tribalism, and the long-term repercussions of violent acts. It challenges us to think about how we respond to injustice, and how we can seek true reconciliation and peace, even in the face of deep hurt. Thank you so much for joining me today as we explored this powerful, albeit difficult chapter of Genesis. If you found this discussion thought-provoking, please hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into inspiring and challenging stories from history and faith. Your support means the world. Until next time, stay curious and keep learning.